Hi everyone, it's been a while since we've done a video, so let's get started with today's video for Unit 3. We're going to learn how to add and subtract complex numbers. As you know from yesterday's lesson in class, complex numbers are imaginary numbers. They're your little I guys. What we're going to do is we're going to add and subtract them today. You can add and subtract the real parts, and then you can add and subtract the imaginary parts. So it's like combining like terms. You can use I part as long as there are no radicals present. That's very important. So let's review again how to find I part on our calculator. So hopefully you have your calculator next to you, and if you don't, pause the video, go get your calculator, and bring it back. Alright, on the calculator you're going to want to hit the math button, and then you're going to scroll over to the right to numeration, which stands for NUM. And then number 3 is what we're going to use, which is called I part. And I part opens up a set of parentheses, so you have to make sure you close it. Well, taking a look at number 1, we're adding complex numbers because there's i's there. They're imaginary numbers. So we're going to add the reals and then the imaginary parts. We're going to do this one with little brain power. So 2 plus a negative 5, because they're both real numbers, comes out to be a negative 3. Positive 4i's plus a negative 6i's gives me a negative 2i's. So there's my answer. Pretty easy. Alright, now take out your calculator and try to use I part to see if you can achieve the same answer. Remember, you go math, scroll over to numeration, number 3, I part. It's going to open up a set of parentheses for you, and you're going to plug in 2 plus 4i. You're going to close that set of parentheses, put a plus sign, open up another set, put negative 5 minus 6i, close that set of parentheses, and then hit enter. Hopefully you've achieved the same answer we did using brain power. Alright, let's go to number 2. Number 2, subtracting. We're going to use brain power with number 2. And if you notice, we're subtracting more than one thing. So we're going to use the additive inverse by multiplying through by a negative 1. So we have negative 3 minus 8i plus 2 minus 4i. So now we're going to combine like terms, the reals and the imaginaries, and end up with negative 1 minus 12i. And again, you can check yourself using I part if you'd like after the video. Let's take a look now at number 3. With number 3, we can't use the I part because we have radicals present. So we want to see if we can simplify those radicals. We can't add them because we don't have like radicals. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, so we have 4 plus 9 is a perfect square root, so it would be 9 times a negative 1. Minus 25 is a perfect square root, so it'll be 25 times a negative 1. Alright, let's see what we have. 4 plus square root of 9 is 3. Square root of a negative 1 is I, and that's something we learned in class yesterday. Close the parentheses, minus, parentheses, square root of 25 is 5. Square root of a negative 1 is I. There's no more radical left there either, so we close the parentheses. So we no longer have any more radicals, so we actually could use I part if we want, but I think it's a little faster to use our brain power. So 4 plus, there's no other real, so we're going to bring him down. Positive 3i minus 5i gives me a negative 2i. And again, if you'd like, you can use the calculator to check your answer after the video. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4, we can't use I part because there's radical present. So let's see if we can simplify those radicals so that maybe we can add like terms. Okay, so we have 5 minus 2. Square root of 12 is not a perfect square root. So let's use 4 times 3 times a negative 1 plus 4 plus 27 is not a perfect square root. So we're going to use 9 times 3 times a negative 1. All right, let's see what we have here. 5 minus square root of 4 is 2. 2 meets the 2, I get a 4. Can't take the square root of 3. Square root of negative 1 is I, so I get 4i radical 3. Plus, parentheses 4 plus, square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 3 I can't do. Square root of a negative 1 is I. 3i radical 3. I still can't use I part because I have radicals present, but I can use brain power and combine like terms. Alright, 5 and 4 will give me 9. I have like radicals, so I could put them together. Negative 4i plus 3i radical 3's will give me a negative I radical 3, which really is a negative 1i radical 3, but we really don't need the 1. All right, let's do one more problem for this evening. Problem number 5 asks us to solve for n. Well, in order to solve for n, we're going to have to see what each of those imaginary numbers equals to. So you're going to want to use I part. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Math. You're going to scroll over to Numeration. You're going to pick number 3 for I part. And we'll plug the first one in and plug in I raised to the, which will be caret, to the 13th power, close parentheses, and hit enter. And hopefully you achieved I. Okay, you're going to want to do that now to I to the 18th power. So go ahead and do that. Hopefully you achieved a negative 1. Plus, you want to do the same thing again now to I to the 31st power. And hopefully you achieved a negative I. Plus n equals 0. Okay, let's see if we can combine any like terms. Oh, we have an I plus a negative I. Well, an I plus a negative I cancel each other out. So all we really have is negative 1 plus n equals 0. To solve for n, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. N equals 1. And there's my answer. If you're having problems with the calculator, please bring those problems with you to class tomorrow and we'll figure them out for you without a problem. Other than that, have a great evening and we'll see you in class tomorrow.